Hi, I'm Jahangir Jani. I'm an artist, and this is about my current exhibition at the Clark House Initiative titled Batin. What you see next to me is a work titled Untitled. It involves a grave and images of my mostly dead ancestors and family, and it is also about the traveling of culture across geography. So language is written in one script and spoken as another. Example is my particular community, which is the Bora community, writes Arabic in Gujarati, and a lot of times writes Gujarati in the Arabic script. So this kind of amalgamation is very interesting and makes for very rich subtexts of existence. I have made a grave. I mean, the exhibition begins with a pseudo grave, and as a kind of evocation of memory, where the memory has to be reconstructed to have any sort of emotion. This is the main hall of Clark House Initiative. There are two works in this room. This is the work titled Batin, which is on the floor, and it is inspired from drain covers, manhole covers, which are so ubiquitous and part of everybody's pedestrian life on a daily basis. But what interests me is sort of they conceal, like the skin of a body, they conceal so much activity which is going around beneath them, and yet are mute testimonials to events, occurrences within the city. So it's like they are mute witnesses rather. The same way our body also bears the effects of so much social, economic, political, also in terms of pleasure and abuse both, and yet very only under extreme circumstances does it manifest that experience. So the works are made of cement and mild steel, and somewhere there is an evocation of being able to see through, but doesn't permit you to go beyond just that little gap in the work, or somewhere there is a motive which raises questions but doesn't give any answers. So this kind of interruption of the visual is very interesting to me, and it leaves it open for multiple readings. The video is it's 6 short sequences of a non-narrative kind, but willy-nilly the moving image develops its own narrative, and they are also about interruptions and suggestions. So they point in a certain direction, but then do not complete that journey that the visual image has begun. This is a work titled Hangings. There is a play on the sort of somber and the playful. So it is the material is artificial synthetic satin and jute or burlap. It is again the remnants of something that's skin like, something that's feathers, something that is in fashion, a fabric, a robe. And again, it's evoking about memory and the existence of the object which triggers that memory. Uh, these are two separate works. One work is titled Love. It is from the fact that in Islam, Shia Muslims are born with the tragedy of Karbala. And this tragedy is evoked even in the happiest of occasions. So, as in love, there is joyfulness and sadness both, and it is meant to suggest the duality of being in love, or the idea of existing within the framework of an all-encompassing tragedy. The other work is these poster kind of placards which are from watercolors that I had done over the years, superimposed with the demand to drop Section 377 from the Indian Penal Code. It was serendipity that the day this exhibition opened, which is the 6th of September 2018, the Supreme Court of India dropped Section 377 on that very day. So these were takeaways. You could take one of these, and the idea was that it would be kept by the person who took that poster away, and so by default was enrolled into the protest against Section 377. This is the sixth work of books. The books are actually books of accounts used by the business community in India. And since my grandfather and father were businessmen, I have decided to use this form as a kind of account of my life till date. So I have written various things, not in a chronological order, because again, the idea is that, or the fact is that what you remember may not necessarily follow what went ahead, but the latest memory would come first and then trigger off a previous memory. So there is no sort of order to the books, but loosely, on looking back, I noticed that subconsciously I have been choosing uh, a sort of a erratic chronological order in terms of the material that I had. It's about almost 30 years of my work of drawings and watercolors. This is one. It's meant to be like this, and it was quite cathartic in a way. In a sense, it was like a release of mine from my past, having documented it. All this while, it was living as if unsorted, so to say, in various places, in my studio, at home, in a drawer, under the bed. And right now, it looks systematically archived, so to say. हो गया ना ठीक है छालो